Yeah, this is Bang Bang Rail, just a little podcast. Yeah. When I was in Maidstone prison, yeah, there was like three wings. There's Kent, Wild, and Medway, yeah. And right in the middle of these two wings was three wings was a place called Fanet, the Fanet wing, yeah, Fanet, and it was full of paedophiles and nonces, rapists, all them sort of people, yeah, loads. I mean, sometimes you see them walk around with the screws with barrows. They used to run the laundries and things like that, yeah. And it's unbelievable what privileges they get. But let me tell you something, yeah? This is the truth as well, yeah? Maidstone, since they opened that wing, Fanet wing, for all the paedophiles and nonsense and rapists, a lot of these people's families moved down to Maidstone that way because a lot of them come from Liverpool, Leeds, right up. So the families sold their properties and come down to Maidstone. Maidstone, right? All of a sudden, within 2 years, he had 75% more rapes, kiddie molesting than anything because of the wing. Because of that wing they opened in Mason prison, it become worse. They just become more, 75% more people was getting raped, kids and everything, over that wing, yeah? So how many other prisons are the exact same? How many other prisons are the exact same where they have all these people, paedophiles and rapists and all them people come to prison, yeah? And they come from up north or wherever. They bring them down to these places, even the Scrubs, even Wandsworth, them places, Pentonvilles, all them sort of prisons that they must have brought them down, put them in the sex wings, sex offenders wings, and then all of a sudden, then people come down, move down to see their dads, their sons, their brothers, their whatever, to be close to them. And when they come out of prison, they can do what they like in different areas. It's pathetic, and it is what happens. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it honestly when I was at Mason Prison. The amount of sex offenders was in that Fanet wing, right? And it's unbelievable. Yeah, to think that 75% of Mason went up with sex offenders because of that wing. They Fanet wing. Yeah, I mean, I used to walk around with Harvey Hayward. AVA was a proper nice guy. I used to walk around with him. Sometimes just to have a little jog round the middle, the playground, the playfields, not playfields, the football pitch. Run round there with Bill, have a little chat, have a little jog. Saying to me, when you get out of the way, come over that way and see us. You know what I mean? And what did I do? I moved to Lewisham. Yeah, I moved to Lewisham. That's where I started my fighting. You know what I mean? But the bill said come over their way, and when I went to the Harp and Herring pub, that Harry had with Bill, also when I see Bill, it was nice. You know what I mean? Being in prison with him and then meeting him, and shaking his hands, and when I used to go around the corner to the club there around the corner, what was it called? Cheeks, and they had Cheeks around the corner, and Bill asked me to run it, to be on the door. I went, nah, Bill, I'm not into that, mate. You know what I mean? I'm with me and Jimmy Tibbet, just, doing prize fights and all that. I don't want to start looking after clubs, mate. I ain't got time for that. I'm training all the time. I don't want to be fighting all the time. Not many clubs. I do enough fighting in the ring, mate. You know what I mean? But what a nice fella, Harry Howard, mate. Dangerous man, mate. Harry Howard. Look what he done with the Richardsons, that big shootout in Smiths, yeah? Big shootout in Smiths, mate. And Jimmy Tibbet. Jimmy Tibbet, really. I mean, I seen Jimmy Tibbet. We used to do a lot of enforcer work for Eddie Richardson, and yet Jimmy Tibbet was more around Harry than Eddie. I mean, he likes Harry, Jimmy Tibbet. I mean, he was always with him at the snooker clubs and all that. You know what I mean? But I loved old Jim. Jimmy Tibbet is like my dad. You know what I mean? Like my big brother, really, in a way. You know what I mean? Because me and him together, always together. And when you meet him, when you're doing your enforcer work with Jim, I learnt a lot from him. You know what I mean? But also when I used to go to the clubs and not go to the clubs as such, going to the club, but go there to get fights. Sit there. Imagine you can't sitting in the club, yeah, Jimmy goes up to the bar, buys me a Guinness and a black currant, and tells me to sit down and be back in a minute. And all of a sudden, you see him over by the door talking to the bouncers, you know what I mean? And the bouncer looking over and he's looking at me, he's nodding at me, and I'm going, yeah, all right, yeah. But I know then I've got to fight one of the bouncers, you know what I mean? And it was good. And I used to have quite a few fights in Harvey Social Club, Woolwich. I've had a few at Cat's Whiskers Stratton for Eddie and Terry Coombs. Same thing, fighting bouncers and all that. I loved it. You know what I mean? It was because when you're training, I mean, do you know what? When we used to train at in Maidstone Prison, yeah. I mean, me, Billy Blundell, and Ricky Curley. I mean, Ricky Curley, right? He was a diamond, Ricky Curley. I mean, he could have it, Ricky Curley. I mean, this geezer had a proper physique. You know what I mean? Perfect, mate, perfect. And I keep trying to get hold of him now. My mate Jamie Bennett says he talks to people that know him, Ricky Curley, and I'd love to see Rick. You know, he's married to a black girl, I believe. I'm not quite sure, but me and Rick went back a long way, yeah. And in Maidstone Prison, mate, we was close. We was always walking about together, talking, and we was always in the gym sparring around, always, And I've told you before that there was this black guy. I've been trying to find his geezer's name, yeah, because I want to be able to put him on put his name on my podcast, but I forgot his name. All I can remember is that me and him were sparring in Maidstone Prison in the gym there, and he bashed me up, mate. Yeah, he really bashed me up bad. You know what I mean? He smashed my face to pieces. And you think you're. I mean, all the pros I've trained fought with and all that, but this guy, he must have been proper pro, mate. He was a good fighter. Whoever he was, this geezer could bang and move around the ring, bang, jab my head off, mate. Really smashed me to pieces. You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed to say it. And when I went back to the ring, like all of a sudden, you haven't got a mark on your face, and then you go back to the ring. My nose was all smashed up, my eyes was all black and blue, my ears were puffed up, my face, my lips were cut, and I walked in there, and they thought, well, what's up with you? You had a right fight, ain't you? I said, yeah, him. And he was in the ring. He looked over. This geezer was just quiet. Never spoke much. Black guy. Never spoke to his own black people. Just kept to himself. But man, couldn't he fight? Long arms, long legs, and he did bash me up, mate. Bash me up, and I'll never forget, mate. Never forget this guy. I love to see him. I mean, if ever he gets hold of me on a podcast, try and get in contact with me. You know what I mean? Because he was good, mate. He was excellent fighter. 100%. He was the business. You know what I mean? And me and Ricky Curley. I mean, we should do what 6 rounds, 7 rounds. And we never used to really hit the face that much, you know what I mean? But we used to hit the arms, and and all that. Ricky used to bash my arms up, something terrible, really. Bash my arms up, mate. He used to bash my arms up, black and blue. My arms, after a week of doing it, it was black and blue. But I used to get Ricky back when we used to get in the clinch. Yeah, me and Ricky, I was going whoop, white uppercut to his chin. A couple of times, and he knocked his bark out. You know what I mean? Because the uppercut does it, but I hit him in the chin. I shouldn't really hit him in the chin. Whoop. So not, and we used to have some terrific sparring matches. I see him one day. This guy is can have it, and this guy can have a fight, and he had to fall. He's only 5'6", 5'7". Billy Blundell. I like to old Bill, mate. I haven't got a bad word to say, any bad words to say about him. A lot of people have, but not me, mate. I mean, I love Bill. I always did. God rest his peace, Bill. And I loved him for what he was. He was a good man, mate. And used to walk around the rings with him, mate, talking to him, walking around the exercise yard. Nice guy. Net wasn't flash, just nice guy, just strolling nice. And in the gym, when he got the gloves on, when we're sparring, mate, different person altogether. Proper man, they can have a right fight. I liked him, and when I come out of prison, and I popped round to see him, around his house. He's got a big gym. He's got a big boxing ring in his front room. Yeah, and he just like showed me the pit, the gravel pits, and all that. The pits, and he's got carp fishing in there and all that. He's a nice guy. And when he died, mate, I was gutted, because all right, Bill. I went and seen him a couple of times, and he was all right, mate. I liked him. He's a proper guy, and and he was with a proper firm, mate. He had a proper firm, mate. He didn't give a monkey to no one, you know what I mean? And he was dangerous. Bill was very, very dangerous, and the people around him was very dangerous, you know what I mean? But I know he's my mate. He's my mate. I didn't go there to see big time Charlie Potatoes. I went there to see Billy Blundell, you know what I mean? A nice guy. And I'll never forget him, mate. I never really met Eddie. I mean, I don't think even Eddie was there when I come there. He might have been, I don't know. There was a few people in the front room. I'm not quite sure, but I liked old Bill, mate. It's a shame that he's dead. It's just a shame. It's one of them things. I met some nice people in Maidstone prison. Very good, very nice people. You know what I mean? I mean, Bobby Dixie. Bobby Dixie, mate, he was a nice guy. Gangster, mate, Bob. Proper gangster, Bobby Dixie. I said a few bad things about Bob, but Bob was a nice guy. He went to bash me up once. Not bash me up. He went to stab me up once. Yeah, I had a fight with a guy called Stevie Doran. Stevie, how you going, mate? You there? Me and Steve had a little row on the hot plate, and fair play to Steve. He stuck a nut. He stuck a nut at me straight away. I got all flash talking to him, and he went bosh, nutted me straight away, Steve. And it was with Freddie Lloyd. Anybody know Freddie Lloyd? Yeah, Freddie, nice fella, Fred. Fred's the same. All old gangsters, you know what I mean? And I met Freddie Lloyd in Lewis prison. I think he was cut the cells for me, Fred. A nice guy, mate, Freddie Lloyd. Nice man. Frankie Fraser was there, I think, it's at Lewis. Lewis is a good nick. And they had I took that to Lewis, had a big bird over, yeah? Big bird thing. They had big eagles in there, a golden nick, not a golden nick, but big eagles, yeah? I went in there one day and the guy who looks after the eagles, mate. God, mate. He put his leather thing on my arm and he put this eagle on my arm and the grip. Mate, let me tell you, them talons they got, mate, they're so powerful. And I tell you what, if you never had that leather thing on your arm, it'd go right through your arm, mate. Powerful birds, mate. And there's a sanctuary there, bird sanctuary, and you see them let them go and all that, you know what I mean? But Lewis, good prison. I was a bit of a fool there in Lewis. I had 2 good jobs. I mucked them both up. The gym orderly in the kitchen. Crazy. That's what I did, you know what I mean? I mean, in Lewis, in these prisons, yeah, you just get a bit leery, you know what I mean? You get out your pram, you meet people, you get a bit flash, you just lose things, you know what I mean? You lose, just with Jack the Lad. And in the end, you're not Jack the Lad, mate, because you can't beat the system. They're Jack the Lads. If they want to get rid of you, mate, they get rid of you in seconds, and that's what they do with me. Just took me down the centre, said there's some divorce papers for me, went down there and put it on me, sprung it on me. Why, Ellie, you're going. Why? You're going, you're being moved out, you had to go at the PO and the hot plate. You're going, you're moving. The hot plate, the PO and the hot plate, I mean, when I was in the kitchen with him, this is what it's all about, really. I was silly as anything, really. I shouldn't have done it. I was in the gym, proper. What's that say? Anyway, I was in the gym, and met with some YPs. Got a bit thing in there. Got a bit heavy in there. Bit angry. Had a few blows with some YPs. Come out to the hot plate, feeling a bit flash. When I was in the kitchen, the PO used to put a lot of soya into the dishes, which would nick a lot of meat and put it back with soya. I was on the hot plate. I knew it. I never said nothing there when I worked there. But when you're coming out for your dinner and you're starving, and he dishes it out to you, he dished it out to me. It looked like I see it all this soya. I just threw the tray at him. Soya, you threw it, went mad, just because I had trouble with his YPs. what happened to me? Get the sack. I'll get the sack out of the gym, sack this, sack that. And this, like, in the end, block, and that's it, mate. And go down the centre, crash, sign some papers for divorce, they reckon, walk through the gate, shut the gate, bash, I'm caught. And they go, what, you're going down the block, Illy, and you're going to a nick. You're being transferred straight out of this prison in seconds. I was gutted. Lewis was a good prison, mate. Some good people there. I mean, I met a mate in there, called Freddie Pooley. I love to see Fred. I've been told that he watches my podcast, Freddie Pooley. I've been told that he had a sunbed shop in Brentford. I don't know how true that is. But Freddie Pooley, mate, he was my pal. Me and Fred was going to escape from Lewis Prison, but it came on top. He couldn't do it, really. It was just too hard for us to do it here. We'd have been captured with that show that I'd been killed by the dogs. Or ripped to pieces by the Alsatians, you know what I mean? But anyway, Freddie Pooley, nice guy. Me and Fred had a few rows in there with people. But Fred, always laughing, always smiling, had the funniest laugh going. But he's watching. Hello, Fred. Get in touch with me through Jamie Bennett. And just give us a call, mate. He knows my number. He's a nice fella. I like Freddie Pooley. Someone told me he's moved out. I don't know how true it is. But nice guy. There's a guy, I forget, there's a guy in there. When I was in Lewis Prison, well known guy, and I've been trying to think of his name for ages and ages and ages. And he's such a gangster, this guy, proper gangster. He didn't say a lot, mate. He didn't have to say a lot. Everybody respected him, yeah, big time. I forget his name. And one day I'll remember his name and put it on the podcast. But this guy was a gentleman, and I loved it in bits. Anyway, listen, this is Bang Bang Radio. Please like and subscribe. I was on about paedophiles and nonsense. I've gone crazy now. Anyway, take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.